Finally be here, like 2 hours late, but I'm here. So excited to be here. I think it's great that there's a local clinic for local coaches to be able to come to and get some information. I'm also glad because as a school teacher, I'm glad to be able to teach and present to an audience that actually wants to be here. So if you're a school teacher, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This will be my 15th season coaching, and this is actually, I guess, the second time I've ever spoke at a clinic. I speak to our youth coaches a lot, but I consider that more of a meeting. But this is like, as far as a clinic goes, this is actually the second time. The first clinic I ever spoke at was I was helping the Parks and Rec department wanted me to speak. It's like after the first year I coached, and wanted me to speak to the youth coaches. So I show up, and there's like 6 coaches there. 5 of them were boys coaches, and 1 was a girls coach. And I was like, hey, I don't know anything about the boys game, but you guys are welcome to sit here and listen. And they were taking notes and writing down everything I said. So I don't know how their season worked out. Anyway, forgive me, I'm not good with technology. I had a presentation. I was supposed to speak at the U.S. Lacrosse convention like 3 years ago, and it got snowed out. And I went down to the airport, getting ready to fly up, and they were like, "Oh, we got 10 inches of snow," and I was like, "I'm not going in that mess." So that's why the background says U.S. Lacrosse convention. And it's probably a good thing that. So when I was working on my presentation this week, I was like, let me pull this old file up and go off that, and it's probably a good thing I didn't get to speak, because as I was looking at it, I was like, this thing is awful. I scratched and did the whole thing again to go through it. And so I'm going to be talking about youth development. How many of you guys are actually like coach youth level? Elementary, middle school? All right, good. Awesome. So, if you're a high school coach, this may not be exactly what you want to hear, but it's something that you need to hear, because it's very important that you help develop your youth program to help so you have players when they get to the high school level that can play for you. I'll try to go through it quick. A lot of this early stuff is kind of just information that I won't go through very much, but these are basically the key ingredients that you need to develop a youth program. All right, the first thing I got is time. Man, it takes a lot of time for a youth program. When I first started, I first started doing a youth program after I coached my first season in 2005. The boys lacrosse coach wanted to do a clinic after school for the middle school kids. So we would do like 2 days a week. We'd have the middle school kids come out and do some clinics and just go teach them some things. And, this was like 2005, so lacrosse was still fairly new at that time. So at that time I wasn't married. I didn't have any kids, and it was pretty easy to spend time to go and do that. But now, fast forward, I have children, and I realize how much time is involved now that I have a lot more responsibilities. But first thing we got is planning. You got to really do a lot of planning in advance. Map out the calendar about what's going on, and make sure you have a plan far in advance. There's a lot of administration aspects that are involved, and that takes up a lot of time. You have to set up registration on a website, update all the practices, time, schedule, handle registration. There's a lot of communication involved. You're always on the computer emailing people, communicating. You get to communicate with your coaches what the schedule is, communicate with parents, answering questions. So you're going to spend a lot of time doing a lot of that stuff on the computer. And facilities. There's a lot of time getting your facilities ready. You have to order equipment. You got to get equipment for goalies, balls, goals. You got to restring the goals. and painting lines on the field. That's probably the most time-consuming thing I do. I could spend 3 or 4 hours a week doing that. Sometimes I'll get to school early and try to knock out 30 minutes, or I'll go on my lunch break and get 30 minutes. I'll stay after school or come before practice and get 30 minutes. And I'll beg people to come out and help me. But then, you know, you can always get somebody to help you, but then they don't do it right, and they mess up the lines, and then you just got to do it over. So if you can find somebody that knows how to do it, great. Okay, the next thing it takes is a lot of support, and you got to have the facilities. So basically, I run the Eagle 6 rec program for the city of Milton. Like I said, we started out, it was a clinic. Then it grew to, let's get a middle school team playing some games, and let's get them in a league. And then that middle school team, we grew to 2 middle school teams. Then it grew to U15, U13, then it grew to U11, then it grew to U9. Then I had my daughter was like 3 or 4 and playing soccer. She was like pre-K, I guess, playing soccer, and it was like 8 people chasing the ball around. All right, you got 8 people chasing the ball trying to kick it. So I'm like, we can do this with lacrosse. Right? I can do this. I can do the same thing. We can get 8 girls out there chasing the ball around and teach her how to play lacrosse before soccer gets them, and they don't want to get out of soccer. So we started a K1 program. So now we're all the way down to kindergarten. So that's how it's grown. And after we started as like doing a clinic, I started helping out the Alpharetta Parks and Rec program. And then the city of Milton formed, so they had a Parks and Rec program, so we run the Parks and Rec for the city of Milton. They give us field space. We have girls in our youth program. It's not a Milton program. It's a community program. So we have girls from all over the community. We got girls that are going to Milton High School, Cambridge High School, private schools like Kingsbridge. We got some girls from Roswell, Cherokee, or Forsyth that want to play, and they come in and play in the youth program. So it takes a lot of support. You got to have parents. You got to find parents to help. If you don't have parents, you don't have a youth program because you don't have coaches. You got to get parents to coach. If you're lucky, you'll have some parents who actually play lacrosse and they know what the game is. And we've been very lucky. We've had a lot of parents throughout the years who played the game growing up. Or in the area, wanting to get their kids involved, and that's the way it started. And then, if you don't have that lacrosse parent, I always say, hey, you don't have to have a lacrosse background. If you have an athletic background, that's great. If you just like to work with kids, if all you can do is help them stand in line and keep your hands to yourself, we will take it. All right, so especially the younger they are, the younger the kids are, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, you almost need someone just to manage the crowd while they stand in line. They pay attention, watch what you're doing, line up behind this cone. All right, so you don't have to have any kind of lacrosse background or sports background. Just try to get parents out there to help any way they can. The more parents, the more support you have, the better. The more things you can do. Okay, the more parents you have, you can add an extra team instead of having a large roster of girls on a team and they don't get to play as much. If you have more parents, you can have an extra team and your girls can play more. One thing I'll say about practice space is, and this is why it takes me so long to paint the field. We have a full field, and I got it divided up so we can maximize the space. So basically, we have a full field, and it's like, so I have it divided into 4 sections, like this, and I have a 8 meter on every section, and on this side. And a line goes down the middle, so this helps helps get organized. So I'll tell, you know, this age group, you got these fields 1 and 2, this age group, you got these fields. And we've literally had eight teams before on a field. Made it work if we have to, because you're only talking about 10 or 12 kids in each section. And if you don't have as many fields, you can open it up to more. But that's one reason why it takes me so long. But that helps maximize practice space and help keep things organized. If anybody has any questions anytime I'm going through this, I'm trying to go through fast, get you guys back on schedule, but have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and chime in. I don't have all this stuff I'm telling you is not, I don't have the right answers. I'm just giving you ideas. Okay, you guys you may have a better idea. Feel free to chime in, give any feedback you have. All right, so the next thing is, what is your philosophy for development? Is it to win or develop? And from my experience, you know, I've coached when I started out with youth program. I would coach teams, and then I didn't coach, but now I'm back to coaching again because my daughter plays. She's a 4th grader, so I started coaching her group when they were in kindergarten. So I've been to every age level, seen, you know, different teams, and different teams, different programs. You have one or the other philosophy. So is it win or develop? My philosophy has always been to develop. Winning a 2nd and 3rd grade lacrosse game against somebody is awesome, it's fun, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to win, you may not develop your kids for the future. So I've got the first thing: you stack your teams, you balance your teams. Let's say you got 2 teams at one age level. Some programs will put their best players on the team, and they'll put their beginners, or less experienced, or less talented players on the other team. Well, that doesn't, you know, the good team is great, they're going to win a lot of games, but the other team, you're not really developing those players. They need the experienced players with them to help them in practice. They can see them and they can learn from them. It helps them be in a game. Maybe they're not one of the standout players, but they can play a role and learn how to play, and you can develop more players that way. The next thing I have is play up or play down in age group. This goes in, there's some programs that want to win, so they'll play, you know, their best kids or their oldest kids in an age group that's, like, for example, maybe they're playing their 5th graders against an age group that's grades 3 through 5, and they're winning easily, instead of putting those 5th graders so they can play against 6th and 7th graders. So my philosophy has always been, if a girl is ready to go, the first group of girls in a grade level, we move them up, because it's not really important to win the 2nd, 3rd grade game or 4th and 5th grade game. You know, for example, we had, like, my daughter's team. They were in 3rd grade last fall. We played them against 4th and 5th graders. They were mixed in with some other 4th graders. Our 5th graders played against 6th and 7th graders. And, you know, we don't always win the games, but it doesn't really matter. We're just trying to teach the girls, you know, I'd rather them play and be challenged than they have the ball and they're dominating the game all the time and not learning how to do anything correctly. And then, are you encouraging scoring? Are you encouraging using the proper skills? You're always playing teams that there's a girl who may be taller and more athletic and bigger, stronger, and she picks up her stick and she's running right down like this. Running right through the middle to score. Can't cradle, but man, she can score. She can run right in there and score, and the coach is like, you get the ball, go to goal, go to goal. But the girl can't cradle. So what are you teaching them? You're not teaching them to pass to the open girl. You're not teaching them to dodge. You're not teaching them to use their offhand. So it's all about teaching them how to do the proper skills, rather than just getting to the goal to score and trying to win a game. we had, the girls I coached, I coached fourth graders, you know, they played against, you know, a lot of teams had fifth graders, so, you know, they won a lot of games, but they had to use their left hand, they had to dodge, and if they didn't, I'm yelling at them, if they're driving on the wrong side, using the right hand, I'm screaming at them, put it in your left, put it in your left. If they're running down the field, got the stick in the right hand, the defender's on there, I'm screaming at them, put it in your left, put it in your left. And at timeout, I'm gonna say, hey, you got to switch hands right there. Where was the defense at? So we ended up, we had a lot of girls that would shoot left-handed, throw and catch left-handed, and they dropped the ball sometimes. Every time they put the ball in the stick in their left hand, and I'm screaming, and I'm like, that's awesome. I don't care if you dropped it. Great job. Way to try to do it. So just try to provide a lot of positive encouragement, because they don't want to do that. They don't want to put the stick in their off hand because they're afraid they're going to make a mistake. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're trying to get you to learn how to do it so you can be better for the future. Another thing with defense, try to teach them how to see the ball and see their girl. So many times, especially in the younger ages, everybody's just face guarding. They're following their girl around, face guarding, and they never see the ball. And we play in a league that it has a one pass rule. That's the worst rule ever for youth lacrosse is making them throw one pass, because then coaches will teach the defense, hey, they got to throw a pass, don't let your girl catch it. Well, now the defense is not seeing the ball. And then nobody's open. The girls can barely throw and catch at that age. Nobody's open, so they can't throw and catch, and the ball ends up being a ground ball. So the best thing, in my opinion, is to teach girls correctly. And if I see a girl out there face guarding, I'm gonna back from the ball, see the ball. I don't care if she catches it. I'm going to teach you guys how to get back on defense, see the ball, and learn how to make plays and see the field. Any questions so far? Alright, next thing is for planning. When you're planning your practices, this is go for high school or middle school, any age group. The number one thing is to keep them moving. When I first started, when my daughter was in second grade, and I was out there coaching them, like the first day, I'm like, man, I'm going to get these girls, I'm going to show them how to hold the stick, I'm going to show them how to cradle, they're all going to stand here in line and listen to me. And that lasted about 30 seconds, and I'm like, this is not going to work. So I learned quickly, you got to keep them moving. They can't stand still and focus and pay attention. 30 seconds, and after that they're done. You can even say this for high school. Maybe high school is a minute. You got to keep them moving. So teach during the drill. Like right when they get to practice, I have them do something. Like if they're one of the first or second, there's only a few girls there, I got a stack of balls ready. Let's practice shooting. I have some cones set up. I want you guys to work on dodging around the cones. Dodge and shoot. Do this dodge with your right hand, and then come over here, do this dodge with your left hand. Shoot with your right hand on this side, shoot with your left hand on this side, and then once all the girls get in here, then all of them are doing that. They're all lined up, they're shooting, they're rotating, they're moving. Right when they get to practice, they're moving. Or you got them parking passing, throwing and catching right when they get there. Because if you don't, if the girl arrives like 5 minutes early, then you don't have something ready for them to do. Then the next thing you're going to see, they're going to be up in the woods, climbing a tree or playing hide and seek. And then when the other girls come in and they see them doing that, they're going to head right to the woods and start playing with them. So you got to get them moving. To maximize your time, because you usually only get like 1 or 2 days a week for an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, and you got to keep them moving. Teach them the skills while they're playing, while they're throwing. Don't get them lined up. This, like I said, I learned this the hard way. Don't line them up and show them how to do it. once they're throwing and catching, walk around, say, get your hands up, get your hands out, hold your stick like this, step and throw, slide your hand down, give them feedback while they're moving. That way you keep them on task and keep them going. Spend the majority of your time on skill development. So let's say your practice is an hour and a half. I would do at least 45 minutes. We're just working on skills. So we do everything. Throwing and catching. We do a variety of throwing and catching drills. I'll go over some of those in a little while. And we'll do shooting. We'll do ground ball. We'll do dodging, trailing, things like that. One of the things that I'll go over in just a second. All right, small-sided components. The younger they are, the smaller the drill should be. We do a lot of one-on-one because at that age they can't really see the field and see far. So we do a lot of one-on-one or two-on-twos. We'll do some 3-on-2s, practice so they can see where the open girl is, and just small-sided things like that. So work on attacking from the balls up top, 1v1 from the top, 1v1 from the top, from the left side, from the right side, from behind, on both sides, and then they're learning. They got to use the correct hand. If they're dodging over here, they should be dodging with their left hand. Over here, right hand. Left hand, right hand in the back, always focusing on the correct thing. You could do some 2v2s and start from different situations, like the ball's behind, you got to play right here. So practice driving, practice helping from here, practice a back door cut, so they can only see one thing, one pass. Same thing from up top, practice driving, practice dodging to the top, get somebody to help. Practice helping see the ball, help, see the open girl, things like that. Okay, these are some drills that we like to do with the youth level. I did all these things with my 4th graders, and as I look at it, we do all these for the high school team too. So you can do it at any age level. Partner passing, that's one thing, like I said, you can do right at the beginning to keep them moving and teaching them how to throw, how to hold your stick. So you can start out doing stationary. That's a great way to walk around and teach them the skills. And a lot of times girls, they don't hold the stick right. So they'll hold it like this with a death grip. Or they'll hold their hand up too high on top. Or they'll hold their hand on their bottom hand will be too high. So you got to walk around. This is something you can do. You can walk around while they're throwing and catching, show them where to hold the stick. I always like to teach the girls to hold it, because they all do this. They all squeeze it and grip it, and they don't have any control. They don't have any feel. So I always tell them to grip it like this with your fingers, and then put your thumb on it, because that way they got their fingers. And I'll say, hey, do you write with a pencil like this? Do you hold your pencil like this when you're writing? I say no. I say, well, you can't hold your cross stick like that. All right, so you hold it where you can get a feel of it with your fingers and thumbs. Put tape on her stick, so it'll show her to put your hand. This is my daughter's stick. The colors don't mean anything. She just wanted to decorate it. So put tape on there to show them. Because I'll have girls that come in and they'll shoot like this, and I'll tell them over and over they're shooting and throwing like this while they're running in the drill, or while we're playing. I'll slide your hand down. Put your hand on the tape. Then they'll move down. And eventually, hopefully, they'll learn to do that and figure it out. So stationary throwing and catching, work on getting their, and this is the other thing the girls do. They all throw like this. Okay, their stick is on their shoulder. They're throwing right here from their shoulder. So I always work on teaching them how to get their hands up and out. So I'll take their bottom hand while they're throwing, and I'll just move it up. Okay, move the bottom hand up, and then see what it does to your top hand. So say, look where your top hand is now. So their top hand is up and away from their body when they're throwing and catching. Watch their follow through. Are they stepping with the opposite foot? A lot of girls will stop right here on their throw. So teach them to follow through. The stick across their body, the butt of the stick going across their body. Basic things like that. Working on it with the right and left hand. We do everything equally. So, you know, I'll either time it or I'll say do 10 catches with your right, then go 10 catches with your left. Or I'll just watch my clock, and after a minute or so, I switch to go to your left hand. So once you can get them, once you show them how to do it stationary, so they get their hands right, then have them start moving. So I got the ball. This is one thing you can do. Have the passer cut away. I put a cone like 5 yards back. They got to turn and run to the cone, and then run on the catch. So now they got to work on getting their hands back and up and away on the move. So you can watch them while they're doing that on the run, because the cross game is you're always doing things, throwing and catching on the run. So a lot of girls, you know, I get them to throw and catch correctly while they're standing there stationary, but then when they start running, they come back and go like this, get their hands back to the old spot. So that's when we start correcting them while they're on the run too. While they're catching, when they're catching, watch, are they having soft hands? Are they giving with the ball? A lot of times girls, I call it the scoop catch or the wrap catch. So we don't want to teach them to do that, because once they start running, when they're going fast, they try to wrap it, the ball's going to end up flying out of their stick. So just constantly encourage the soft hands catch and have them come even over exaggerated while they're doing stationary catching. Once you bring the ball way back, catch right here, bring it way back. So they get the idea of having soft hands and cushioning on the catch. The diamond drill, we do this, like we try to do the same, like I'll do the same passing drills all the time, because the more you try to do, it takes that much more time to teach. And so it's like diamond drill, line up, and then they know what a drill is, and you're practicing the same skill. You can change the drills up a little bit, but you get them set up and understand what they're doing. Try to use similar drills. So the diamond drill is pretty simple. It's set up like in the shape of a diamond. Cone, 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 and they're just working on a leading pass. The ball's right here. She's running toward this line. This girl's cutting away to the next cone. So working on throwing a lead pass. So you have to explain to them what the leading the pass is. Throw one at somebody while she's moving, and then they see that the ball ends up behind them. So we're telling them to throw it to where the girl is going to run to. So we go right hand, she catches the ball right here. So she catches, this girl takes off to this cone. She's running, throwing a leading pass. This girl takes off, she's running, throwing a leading pass. She keeps on going around. I put the cones maybe 15, 20 yards apart, because once they catch the ball, sometimes they'll make miss it, they'll scoop it up, and they'll be right here on the girl. So I want them to have plenty of room to work on a little bit of longer throw. So we'll get this going, and then we'll reverse it. So now they got to use their left hand when they go the other way. And then a lot of times, I just add 2 balls, because they miss the ball so much, and they're sitting around chasing the ball, and then just having to stand around waiting for somebody to go get the ball that they missed. I'll put extra balls behind each cone, and I'll say, hey, you know, as soon as the girl, if you see somebody miss it, next person in line, grab a ball and go. And I'm just sitting there constantly yelling, get the ball, next ball, next ball, next ball, let's go, keep it moving, because if you don't keep them moving, they're going to stand around, they're going to get bored, they're going to be playing hide and seek in the woods. Star drill, I mean, these are all drills you guys know, but just teaching you how to do them with the youth kids. You know, we do the diamond drill. The first 3 drills that we got so far, we do these with our high school team. We do all of them. So the star drill, I'll set it up around a goal like this to teach them Cutting through the 8, how they cut through the 8 to catch. So I'll set it up like this, cone, cone. If you have any agility poles, I'll put an agility pole right here, like this, and an agility pole, like this. Because now they gotta, because on this side they gotta catch with their left hand. So we'll, the pattern will go like this. Then comes here. This girl's got to catch with her left hand, just like in a game. The defender's on her right side right here, so she's got to learn to catch with her left. So she catches with her left, and then she throws with her left to this line. Right-handed catch. And we'll come this way. This is a lefty catch. That's why the agility pole is there, so they know they can't put their stick right here. They're going to run into the pole if they catch it. So they got to catch left. So that teaches courage in cutting through the 8. See the patterns where they cut through the 8, like if they're getting open for a pass, and then using the correct hand. Next thing is box passing drill, and this is everything we do. We're always saying use the outside hand, hands to be away from the defense, and you always have to re-explain it to them all the time in practice. I coach the same girls in basketball now. We'll do dribbling drills, dribbling with wrong hand. Hey, it's just like lacrosse, you use your outside hand when you dribble the ball. Right here's the defense. So box passing, pretty simple. Set up a box like 10, 15 yards away from each cone. Throwing it around, catch and go with the outside hand. Reverse it. Now you got to go with the left hand, and then teach them to pop out. So now they got to learn how to get open. So every time the ball is coming, so if the ball is coming this way, the girl has to do a fake and then pop out. So now she catches. When they catch, do a dodge. So dodge to switch, do a little dodge, and then throw it this way. This girl's popping out. So that teaches them how when they get in the game, when they're set up and when they're trying to get set up, which they never get set up in the offense at that age, but they're always having work to get open. So you say pop out, outside hand. So when they catch it, now you're working on getting open, making a jab step, pop out, catch. Now they got to dodge, so they're working on switching. So you can practice switching hands, using the outside hand to throw. You can do a roll dodge, catch and roll, and switch. For people that can do that, so there's a lot of different things that you can do with that. So then we add defense, just so they understand. This is why you have to use your outside hand. This is why you have to be able to pop out and get open and move the ball quickly. So we add defense. We'll go. We'll put like a line. I'll have a line right here of girls. And you can say after every 2 passes, one girl goes in. After every 3 passes, if they can move the ball better, you can go 3 passes. After 3 passes, one girl goes in. You're following the ball around, chasing the ball. 2 passes, next girl goes in. Okay, so you're always chasing the ball. Then on the 3rd pass, next girl goes in. So they're working on it. Now they got to move the ball quick. Now they got to understand ball movement. Using the outside hand because the defense is going to block your pass. If you're not. Okay, then we do clearing. This teaches them how to catch on the run. This gives your goalie a chance to work on clears. Teach them how to get open. And once they start playing with goalies, they don't always understand how to get open. They'll just run and stand in a spot on the field. So this drill works great to teach them how to get open, what they're supposed to be doing. So most of the time the girl just runs stand. She'll break out here like this, and she's just standing there like this, waiting, and then thinking the ball's going to come to her. And then there's like 5 other girls just standing right there. So I'll teach them, we'll do a line of girls right here. I'll put a cone right here, somewhere in this area. And somewhere out here in the corner. Here's the corner of the field. I'll do the same thing on this side. You can have a coach pass, you can have a player doing the passing, you can have a goalie you don't have to go over there, use players, so they work on the passing. So now they gotta break up. They're practicing getting open for the clear. Tell them you're working on losing your defender, and then break out to the corner. We gotta have somebody in the corner. We're not all just running down the field. Alright? We gotta come back and fill the space. So we work on that. So now the goalie's working on throwing on the run. She's catching the outside hand. And once they understand that, once they get that movement down, teach them to catch and turn and run upfield, catch the ball, immediately go upfield, towards the sideline, and then what do they have to do now? They have to switch hands, okay, because the defense is right here. So we're teaching them catch and switch, get away from the defense. Most of the time the girls would want to catch the ball right here, and then go where? Right back this way to where the defense is. So teach them to catch, run up the sideline, switch hands. Do the same thing on this side. Come up, cut out. They got to catch this to the left. Run to the side up the field. Switch hands, keep away from the defense. So this is where I'll have the defenders, the girls that play defense, they'll break out to the low spot. And then once we get there, we can add two girls going, and then the next girl comes up, like a midfielder will come up and break out to the sideline. She catches, runs down the field, looks to throw upfield. To that girl, she's open. We do that drill in high school too. Okay, next we have shooting. We just set up and dodge from different areas. Anytime they're on this side of the field, have them dodge using their left hand. You got some agility poles, stick them in the ground. They can practice doing a dodge, like as a defender. The cones will work fine too. On dodging and shooting. And as they're going to the goal, work on teaching them how to get their hands back. Hard step, good follow through. As they're going, give them feedback when they finish. Hey, that was a great shot, but next time try to get your hands back more. Make sure you step with the correct foot, follow through. Don't shoot it at the goalie. Alright? You're actually trying to shoot it. You're actually trying to make it. Don't shoot it at the goalie. And again, we have to say that to our high school kids too. So, then we have we do a lot of ground ball drills because the ball's on the ground a lot. And so to get a variety of skills in one drill, have them do a ground ball, go into the goal. So now they're working on 1v1s. Have them throw a ground ball to pass or do a pass. So now you're teaching defense, get on them, try to block the pass. See the open girl. You can't just scoop and throw it. You might have to switch hands, get your hand on the outside hand away from where the defender is when you're throwing the pass. And then you can do, you can make it a 2v2, ground ball 2v2. You have to throw one pass. So now they're working on getting the ground ball. Good 1v1 defense. The other player's working on getting open. So there's a lot of things you can do to try to combine and work on various skills in one thing. Number 8, I got 3v2s. We just learn how to stop the ball and pass to the open girl. Like I said, we don't teach them to play defense on the one pass rule to guard the girl. We teach them how to stop the ball. So a great way to do that is just have three attackers set up here. Pretty simple. Defense and defense. So the girl's coming down. We're working on just sliding in. Pay attention, stop the ball first. Okay, stop the ball. We don't want the girl just to run straight to the goal, which happens a lot at that age level. So you got to learn to get in and stop the ball, see the ball, stop the ball. And now these girls are filling the lanes. So once the ball is stopped, this attacker has to keep her head up. That's one of the hardest things for youth girls. They can't see the field at all. So you have to practice doing that. Keep your head up, see the open girl. And little drills like that will help. The girls like wide open in the game, wide open for them, they just can't see it. So you come up with a close name or whatever works for you. And I got the same thing in basketball. They won't throw the ball. There's a girl open up field, and I was like, if I say look up, just throw the ball. Don't even look. You hear me say look up, just throw it. No matter where you're at, however you can get it there, just throw it. All right, throw it in the direction of the goal. This is number 9, keep away zones. This is something I came up with because they didn't understand how to get open and spacing. Trying to teach them spacing. So ideally, what I would usually think is you put a cone, right? You got 5 girls on the. This is the youth league, U11. You got 5 girls. So you want them spread out like this. You put a cone. Well, it doesn't always happen that way. The girls who are supposed to come down here, they're standing up here on the top. The girls who are supposed to be on top, usually your midfielders, they're running down behind the goal. They're all on one side of the field. So you think go to a cone, and then they just stand on their cone. They don't understand they got all this space around here, all this space that they have to move. That's their space to work to get open. So it's not just a cone. You're going to an area. So I came up with a drill where I put cones out, and I just divided it something like this. I can't remember how exactly I did it. Something like this. So this is you now have an area instead of a cone. This is your area to play, to move to get open. So I kind of do a keep away drill. Move anywhere in your area to get open with a ball. So now you're working on popping out, back cut, and if the ball is here, if the ball comes into your area, you have to get out of your area. All right. So this girl that was in this area, the ball came in here, so she's got to get out of there. All right. So now you're teaching them space and move away from each other, and balance the field. So this, that worked pretty well. Just to set it up in zones instead of cones. And the last thing, I always try to have some fun games that teach the skills. One thing that we do is I put a bucket like in the center circle. Or if you don't have a circle, make up a box or whatever. Put a bucket in the center, and here's the bucket. You have one girl in here playing defense, and all the other girls are around. This might be called a different drill. I don't know what. You may have seen that drill. It's called this. This is just, I call it protect the bucket. I don't know what else. So you call out a number. Number 3. Everybody's got a ball. They're running in trying to get their stick to the bucket. So now the defense has to turn around, find where the ball is coming from real quick. Step up. So you teach them to step up. Touch the girl. Don't just let her come in and just walk it in there to put the ball in the bucket. Step up and then try to break down, move your feet. Then you call out different numbers and you switch whoever's playing defense. Then you can even add another player in there. You can do 2v2. You call out 2 numbers. They love this game. Like they literally love it. Can we play that game again? So that's a fun game for them. And you're teaching something while they're playing. Next is sharks and minnows. That's pretty simple. That's a fun elementary school game. But then you make them all carry a ball. Make the minnows carry a ball. So now it's a little bit harder. They got to run and cradle. And then you say, you got to minnows. You got to run with the ball in your left hand now. So now they're having to run and escape the sharks while they're cradling. And then steal the bacon. Everybody knows how to do steal the bacon. That's a great game to teach. You can put in rules. I always like to do 2v2s, 3v3s. You got to throw 1 pass, etc. Anybody have any questions about anything? Anything youth related, high school?
On high school, Sky, how much 2v2 or split screen 2-man game do you teach?
We really don't ever do any picks. We never incorporate that in our offense. Number one, because you always get called for fouls on a pick. So girls don't really know how to do it. You know, you spend a lot of time trying to teach it, and then it ends up being a foul. So we just teach them spacing and moving away from each other, cutting.
How do you teach the physical side to a little girl as far as body?
Yeah, well, I just, it's tough. My daughter's the worst. She doesn't want to touch anybody or anything, even with the ball. Just have to constantly saying touch her. Go up and touch. You're not pushing the girl. Just go touch, because if you don't, they're just gonna back up like this and let the girl go. You just have to say step up and touch. It's actually gonna be a foul on the offense if they run into you. Okay? So you don't have to back up. Step up and touch. So just constantly teach them how to step up. Just constant. I try to think about what do I say more when I'm coaching the game. It's either see the ball or step up. I don't know when I say more during the game, but that's just kind of how you got to do it. Break it down simply. Do one-on-one. Do without the ball. Play without a stick. Practice on step up and touch.
Make contact without the...
Right. Teach them. A lot of girls will play like this, and a lot of girls play like this. You got to try to teach them, hug a tree, however you want to say it, just to get them to try to keep that position.
You still do the ABC approach, like
Yeah,
break
we
down
do. We do that.
contact and direct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What have you found to be the most effective mechanism for shooting this? What they use?
Luckily the refs are kind of lenient. Yeah, they don't call it as much. It's tough, man. I mean, it's
look at me when he said it.
It's tough. I mean, teach them to stay on the girl, watch the girl. Stay with the girl, see the ball. You can't, when they're young, they try to make, I call it the soccer wall. And you got 3 girls standing in front of the goal. So, kindergarten, first thing, don't make the soccer wall. You can't do the soccer wall.
I think it might be teaching the shooter too, not to make that shot too. So it's not just a defense on that shooting space.
Right.
Because a lot of those girls want to fire it.
Yeah.
They can.
Right. So hopefully, sometimes the girls don't know. They don't realize that they can't shoot that.
So how do you condition your girls at the youth level? Because we've played your girls, and they, from an endurance perspective, they're always fantastic, and we're just trying to figure out, what do you do during practice that kind of gets them there?
I mean, I want them to come back, so I'm not gonna have them run and do something that's not fun. They just get in the drills.
Just running constantly in the drills.
Just try to do drills and keep them moving.
Do they do full field drills during practice, or is it usually use half a field?
We never practice on the field. Sometimes we'll have the small field where we go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
But very rarely do we use
the
full field. Even in high school, we never get it, but we never use it. I find using the full field, they stand around too much. So we always do small sided around one goal. Now we'll do like that clear drill I was telling you. They're constantly running up and getting it, running back to the line, next person up, let's go. I try to keep small lines and just keep them moving. These guys got some girls with big jeans and they can run a while.